Well, hello there, and welcome to my review on the new Tier 10 auto-reloading medium tank, the Progetto 65. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about the stats. I'm gonna tell you my personal opinion on the tank, and I'm gonna show you a couple of battles. So first up, we have the stats of the tank. I have all the equipments on it right now, so with these equipments, this is the stats of the tanks. So it's got 2015 hit points. If you don't run with the extra hit points, it will have 1900. So it's in the middle of the line compared to the other medium tanks, I think. For the armor, you can get a few bounces on the turret and maybe on the upper hull because it's really angled, so you can get some bounces every now and then. Don't expect it though. You got 120mm on the front of the turret and 50mm on the hull, but as I said, it's really angled, so you might get some bounces. Other than that, your armor is pretty thin, so you shouldn't expect to bounce much. The view range is actually pretty nice on this thing, and the concealment is also really good. I've noticed when I'm playing it, I don't get spotted nearly as much as I do in some of the other medium tanks that I have, which is awesome because concealment is always great. You have 48% while stationary and 41% while moving, so not a huge difference there, which means you have pretty good concealment even when you're moving. The DPM, as you can see here, is not great. However, it's an auto-reloader, so it's not something that you look at in the same way, because the thing is, with this thing, you have 3 shells. The first shell takes 7.76 seconds to reload. This is, by the way, with 96% crew, and I'm running vents as well. I don't even have 100% crew in it yet, so take that with a grain of salt, although it won't be much better at 100% because I'm only 4% away. But yeah, so with the first shell, you'll have to wait 7.76 seconds to fire it, and that's if you're only firing the first shell every time. The second shell takes 6.39 seconds, and the third shell takes 5.02 seconds. But keep in mind that when you're firing the third shell, for example, if you're only firing the third shell, you're not gonna wait only 5.2 seconds or 5.02 seconds every time. You have to wait 3 seconds for the clip reload, and then it starts reloading the third shell. So if you add 3 seconds to it, it will be 8.02 seconds, which means it's a little bit worse than the first shell, but in some situations I would still recommend to just use the third shell until you can clip them out, because you never know when you might need the second or the 2 other shells. So just play cautiously, I would say, with this thing. So I also want to point out that when you're reloading your shells, if you have a shell in the clip and you reload it before the next one is reloaded into the clip again, you lose the time that you spent reloading the first or the next shot, and you have to start it all over again. So let's say you're shooting your third shell in the clip, so you're on a 5.2 second reload, and then when you have, let's say, a second left, you shoot something else. You lose the reload that you had on the third shell, and you start reloading the second shell instead. So keep that in mind. If you're really close to getting a new shell in the magazine, maybe just wait that extra half a second or whatever it is, because it could save you in a crucial stage of the game. Yeah, the penetration is not the best, but it's also not terrible. 245mm on your APCR and 295 on your heat. And the high explosive is actually pretty annoying because it only has 53 seconds, or 53mm I mean, compared to the standard B here, which has 105mm. which I don't know why it's like that, but there's probably a reason. The average damage on the APCR rounds is 350, 300 on the heat, and 400 on your high explosive. That's pretty much standard on all the 350 alpha damage medium tanks at tier 10, except the British, the FE422, and the E50M, which has 440 high explosive. The aim time it's decent, 2.8 seconds. It's not too bad, and the dispersion is fairly nice at 0.3110 or 310. It has 9 degrees of gun depression, which obviously gun depression is nice. 9 degrees can get you into some really nice positions that you can snipe from. The top speed is 58 kilometers per hour, which it's nice. It's not the fastest, but it can get to places in a decent amount of time, I would say. The power to weight ratio is 19.5 horsepower per ton, which, I mean, it's decent, but it's not the best. However, the terrain resistance stats are pretty nice for soft or hard and medium terrain. However, on soft terrain, it's absolutely terrible. And you can really feel a difference. In most tanks you can't feel too much of a difference on the terrains, but on this thing you can definitely feel a difference if you're on soft terrain. Your traverse is just terrible. So try to stay away from soft terrain if you can. Alright, so that is pretty much the stats of the tank. As you can see here in the garage, the model is pretty nice. I have the graphite camo on this thing, which if you haven't gotten it yet, you should definitely get it. It's on sale on Steam. You get a big bundle of stuff for like 50 cents or something like that. It's crazy. It's a 95% coupon. It lasts until like 21st of October, I think. So if you're watching this before 21st of October 2019, you should definitely go get it. But yeah, this is the tank. This is how it looks. It's a really nice looking tank in my opinion. It's up there with the STB-1 in my opinion, which is one of the best looking tanks in the game, in my personal opinion. So for provision, I just like to use the most expensive ones because I feel those are the ones that makes the biggest difference. Some people might be use cinnamon roll instead of protective kit, but I prefer to have the protection of the crew and modules, especially since in this tank you get, or your driver gets hurt a lot, I feel like. So definitely use the protection kit. That's my advice, at least. For equipments, I like to run improved ventilations. The pen isn't that bad, so you shouldn't need to have to use calibrated shells. I like to use the defense system because I prefer to have the higher protection on your crew and engine and ammo rack. And then obviously you want to run improved optics. You don't want to be camping in this thing with camo net. I like to use both the aiming time equipments, the vertical stabilizer and the Hans Gunling drive. Also the hit point improved assembly equipment, because the armor is not the best, so why not just use the hit points. Also I want to use the engine accelerator because the traverse isn't that bad, so why not. That is my setup on the Progetto 65. All in all, I think this is a lovely vehicle. It might actually be my favorite tier 10 at the moment. The auto reloading system is just a lot of fun to play around with, and I would definitely recommend getting this tank and trying it out for yourselves. The tier 8 and tier 9 is also a lot of fun, so it's a really good line, so I would definitely recommend it. And now let's have a look at a couple of games. Right, so I have a couple of nice battles for you here today, which I got while grinding this tank to 100% crew, which, as I said earlier, I'm not there yet. But anyway, we're rolling out on Oasis Palms right now. I'm in a platoon with the WZ-113 GFT. It's a clanmate driving that thing, and As you can see here, I'm rushing a little bit too hard maybe here, and there's two leopards coming out of the normal spot there. I didn't get focused, which is nice for me. Our leopard got spotted or focused instead. So I just take my advantage here. I track the leopard twice, and then I go forward and take the last shell. So now I'm on a full reload here. It takes a bit of time to reload the whole clip. I think it takes like over 20 seconds to reload all of them, or maybe not 20 seconds, but almost 20 seconds at least. So I can see here that the Jaeger can't get me from there, so I put a shell into the Leopard 1. I reload my last shell again, so I'm ready to take him out when he comes. When the time comes, the Leopard gets one shot into me and he gets cleared by the T-22 medium. So now I'm reloading a couple of shells again. The FE-215B183 drives past me so I can put a shell into him. I'm making sure that I'm standing behind this rock here so the Jaeger can't get me. And none of the tanks, not the FE-215B183 or the other one that was right there, was in line of sight of me, so I was about to drive forward until I saw that object 709, or 704 I should say, and I decided to put my full clip into him. And the Jaeger here is backing up, so I feel like this is a good time for me to load up my full clip again and put some shells into him. He was on a bit of an angle earlier there, so I would have used heat if he didn't move a little, but we didn't have to, so that's good for my pocket. Saving some credits there. Finish off the the object 704 with our first shell in the clip, and now I have time to reload the full clip again. So I see the VK4502B there. I'm thinking that he might not be the best player because he's been camping the whole game in a heavy tank, so I don't focus him in the beginning and I focus on the FE-215B183 instead. I put 2 shells into him and missed one of them. So now the VK4502B is rushing at me. He gets one shot into me here and I'm feeling pretty confident. I lock down his tracks, he fixes them, he gets a big shot into his side by, I think it was our waffle tractor, but I'm not quite sure. I'm jiggling back and forward here so he won't get me, and just like that he misses his shot. I'm on 6.2k damage right now. I'm telling my platoon mate here because I think it might be an ace tanker, and I'm trying to rush in to get the last bit of damage, but unfortunately I'm not getting it because Jack Tagger has insane DPM and he gets the kill just a tiny second before I get there. But either way, it was a really nice battle, and let's look at the results here. So 6.2k damage usually gets you an ace. However, this is a brand new tank. It's been out for over a week when I'm making this video, which means they are usually much harder to ace. So at the results here you can see it was only first class, but I did get 1609 basic speed, which I think that's enough to ace pretty much every single tank in the game right now, except the Progetto obviously. But 6.2k damage, high caliber. I get a sniper tanker. I think that was because I shot the FE-215B and the Object 704 across the map a couple of times. And I make a nice amount of credits. I have a premium account on. I didn't run credit boosters, so nice amount of credits there. And let's move over to the second battle. So here we can see we are on Himmelsdorf, which is not the best map for this tank. I prefer to have a little bit of hills and stuff like that so I can make more use of my gun depression. So I wasn't exactly happy with this map, but you take what you get, I guess. I see the T62A there. I don't want to go out to the left because I might get shot by something there, and I don't want to go out to the right because obviously the T-62A is there. So instead I'm just waiting for a little while, and when I feel like I have the chance I'm gonna move, and there's an object 4 or 140 on the left side there, but my platoon mate takes this shot and I think he bounced or he missed, I don't know. We spot the waffle tractor over there camping in a position that's not used too much. It could be a good spot if you don't get spotted, but usually you will get spotted pretty early. So I used the auto aim there to hit the object 140, but it still missed. I don't know why, because I mean it should be aiming directly at the middle of the tank, but oh well. We used the auto aim again, and it bounced. I don't know what happened there, but it might have hit the turret or something. So I'm thinking I'm probably not going to be able to kill that guy, so I'm going to be going for the waffle tractor instead. I get a lucky bounce there. As I said, you can get a few bounces on this thing if you're lucky, and we take the waffle tractor out with the full clip. So now we're reloading the whole clip again, and it should be reloaded by the time we get to the object 140, which is nice because that means we have 1050 alpha that we can put into any tanks nearby. So it's been reloaded, and somehow I hit the middle of the tracks, which sucked because there's a little bit less damage for me. And now we're reloading one shell, and maybe we get the kill, we'll see. We do. We blow up his turret with our first shell in the clip. So now we're reloading the full clip once again, and we can see here there is 4 tanks left on the enemy team. It's a Batchet 25 TAP, the tier 9. We have a Jaegeru, which was pretty lucky there that he wasn't looking at me, so we didn't get shot. There's a Mauschen, I believe, and an E100. And there we get a second lucky bounce. That was on the upper plate, which was angled even more than it usually is from where he shot me at. And as you can see here, it's only me and my platoon mate left, and he just got hit for 1100 damage, which is not good. And then he gets taken out by the Batchet. I was in a little bit of a panic there. I thought I was gonna get shot, and I hit the grill while trying to get away. We get another bounce. We're up to 1400 bounced or block damage now, which is pretty good for the Progetto 65. I tried to do a little sneaky maneuver here, but the Mauschen and the E100 is coming towards me. The E100, fortunately for me, is running a stock gun, which means he only hits me for 400 and something. I turn around again because I know I won't be able to deal with those two alone. The Batchet bounced me again, and the E100 missed me. So we're in a good position here now. We take out both of them with one clip. The Batchet was 1 shot and the Jaeger was 2. So easy to take out both of those. I just got up on the side on the Jaeger and he doesn't stand a chance. So now I know that I'm against a bit over half HP E100 and a full HP Mauschen, so I'm trying to get distance here, and here you can see the view range and the camo working its wonders. We didn't get spotted there at all. We get 1 shot into the E100. I'm thinking, do I shoot the hatch on the Mauschen, but I decide not to, because I probably wouldn't have hit, and then I would have to wait 8.5 seconds to reload the first shell again, because I had pretty low crew here, I think. We spot the Mauschen up again, and we get 2 shells into him, and then he's looking at us, so I wanna make him believe that I'm going the other way, and then I'm turning back around again when I'm not spotted anymore, which I'm thinking that's gonna work, because I don't think they are the best players, and you can see here it did work. I get a lucky bounce once again. It was pretty much the same angle as the first bounce from the Mauschen, and we can easily take him out for our 5th kill. And I'm also at 6.2k damage right now. As I'm thinking, the E100 is stock, which means he's probably not the best player, because most good players probably just free XP the Top Gun or something like that, because the stock gun isn't the best, to say the least. But he's trying to cap, so that means I know where he is at all times, and I know I can take 1, maybe 2 shots if he doesn't get high rolls. So I'm thinking I should just rush in and just do the work and get the kill. So I rush in here and I get tracked, which made me panic a little bit, but it's fine. I just repair it, and then I put a couple of shells into him here, and then I go around. I want to get at least 1 more shell in case I fluff one, but I didn't really have to, because the E100 fluff his shot instead, and that leaves me to get an easy kill. So we ended up at 6 kills, we get 7,089 damage, we get 1,775 basic speed, which this was before a week had passed and the tank was still really easy to ace. You need like 1,200 basic speed or something to ace it, but this would probably still be an ace right now, even when 1,600 basic speed is just the first class. Because we had 1,775 basic speed, we get the master badge, we get high caliber, we get the pulse medal, we get the Kolobanov, it was a 1 versus 4, and we get crucial contribution for destroying 6 enemy vehicles in platoon, which I did alone. All in all, an awesome battle, and yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you did, please like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.